Hello my happy friends. Today tutorial we're going to go over the pepper as requested by a few of you. I guess you guys are struggling with this part here, so we're going to go over this pattern today. This video is going to be very raw, so bear with me. So as you can see, I've already made one, but I know the kit started with the magic ring like this, so I've already prepped everything. Here's the pattern, so you don't have to worry about how to do the magic ring. I can do another video for that later, but this is how your kit should look. This stitch marker right here is your working stitch. This one right here is the first stitch. So to get started, you want to actually pull this one up a little bit, and you're going to remove that stitch marker. So go ahead and do that so you now match what I have. From here, you're going to make sure this is your tail, and you're going to make sure that this is down and your working yarn is up. Your working yarn is what is attached to the rest of the yarn. So it's already got the 6 stitches that you need to start. Where that other stitch marker's at, you're going to slip into that. You're going to grab the yarn and you're going to pull through. So now you've got 2 loops on your hook. Then you're going to take that first loop right here and you're going to slip stitch into the other loop. From there, you're going to remove your stitch marker and you're going to place it into the finished stitch back here, like so. So now, that is a completed magic ring, which round 1 magic ring, which 6 stitches. Round 2, you're gonna do 6 single crochets all the way around your magic ring. And to do that, the V's, that's your stitch right here. So you're gonna go into that one, grab your yarn, you're gonna pull it through. So you've got 2 on your hook. You're gonna yarn over and pull through both. That is a single crochet. That is your first single crochet for this. Then you're going to turn it a little bit and you're going to identify your next stitch, which is right here, this V, and you're going to do the same exact thing. You're going to go through, yarn over, pull it through, 2 on your hook, yarn over, pull through the 2. Moving to your third stitch, the V, you're going to go in it, yarn over, pull through, there's your 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the 2. You're going to keep doing that for the next 3 stitches because that was your third. There's your V. That was stitch number 4. Now here's number 5. And then your last one is where your stitch marker is. That's number 6. Again, you're going to remove your stitch marker and place it in that last stitch you just completed. This is where it gets tricky because it's tight and it's wonky. So a lot of people don't get this part well. You want to flip it, turning it inside out. Best thing to do. If you have nails, acrylics, you can use your nail to push it through. Normally I do have acrylics, but I am taking them off to let my nails breathe. So you're gonna turn it. I'm just using the butt end of the hook. You're gonna turn it so it's inside right. So this is the outside. This is the side we're gonna see all the time. Now, once you've got that turned, your working yarn should be inside the little basket. Right there. Your working yarn is going to stay inside. That way, once the project's finished, it's inside. It's in here where you can't see it. Okay, now row 3, 2 single crochet, then an increase. What does that mean? This is what that means. You are going to take your working yarn. Sorry, my stitch marker was on the wrong side, so I had to turn it. This is how it should look. Okay, so you are going to go to your first stitch and you're going to single crochet. Sorry, didn't mean to come out of camera. Then you're going to do another single crochet in the second stitch, and then you're going to increase. Well, increasing is 2 single crochets in the same stitch. So right here we're going to do 1 single crochet and then again another single crochet in that same stitch. So you'll have 2 single crochets in 1 stitch. That's an increase. So now you're going to repeat that. So 1 2, and then your increase is going to be where your stitch marker's at. So there's 1 and 2. That's going to give you 8 stitches around over the 6. Stitch marker and the last stitch you just made. There we go. So that's round 3. Now for round 4, 1 stitch, okay, so 1 single crochet, increase. And you're going to repeat that 4 times for a total of 12 stitches. So there's your 1, and then an increase. So that's 3 stitches. There's 1. And your increase, that's 6. 1. Increase, that's 9. 10. 11. 12. So this is how it should be looking so far. If you want to make that tighter, all you gotta do is just pull on your tail, and it'll tighten it down a little bit. Okay, so that was round 4. Round 5, you're going to repeat 1 single crochet in the 12 stitches you made. So this one is just a 1 single crochet all the way around for 12.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
So there's that. I am also really good at losing track, so I have a thing for Post-it notes because they stick. So I know that we just finished the 5th round, and now we're on round 6. So we're going to do 3 single crochets, increase to make 15. So that's where we're at now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1. Oops. Sorry, I split the yarn. There's 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's that. Now we're moving on to round 7. So 7 and 8 are exactly the same, and we're going to single crochet 15 times around for 2 rounds. Okay, so now we finished 7 and 8. So round 9, you're going to do 4 single crochet, 1 increase for a total of 18 stitches. One, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, increase. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then your final increase on this row So that's where we're at so far. Now, a way to make sure that you're on the right row, we just finished row 9. You can count this circle right here is row 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Cool. Let's keep going. Okay. Row 10. 1 single crochet all the way around. So it's the same as row 7 and 8 where you're just doing 1 single crochet. So a total of 18. All right. Row 10 finished. Now for 11. So 5 single crochet increase for a total of 21. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're going to do your increase right here. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Another increase. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then again, your increase where your stitch marker's at. And into that last stitch. Okay. Okay, so rounds 12 to 14, you're going to single crochet all the way around to 21, and you're going to do it for 3 rounds. So let's single crochet away. So everybody has their own way of keeping track of their rows. Please, by all means, stick to what works for you. Me personally, when I have multiple rows like this, on my post-it note, will write myself little hashtags. And I do it backwards, I know. Okay, those are finished. Round 15. And I believe this is a round that somebody got stuck at. I'm not 100% sure, but 5 single crochet to increase. Okay, I can see why you can get stuck here. That can be confusing. It's so 5 single crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you're literally doing 2 increases next to each other. So there's 1 increase, there's another increase. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, increase, and increase. 1, 2, oops, 3, 4, 5, do an increase, keep splitting the yarn, sorry about that. One more increase right here. There we go. So that's how to do that. So that's where we're at so far. Turn the other way. It's Santa's hat. I'm kidding. Okay. So now you're gonna go 16 to 25. You're gonna single crochet 27 stitches all the way around. We're looking at 10 rows. So go ahead and just single crochet for those rows, and I'll be right back. Okay, so last few stitches of round 25. There we go. Okay. That completes that one. Okay, so that's where we're at. And as I was doing this, I'm gonna have to admit, because based on the size, I think I completely skipped the 16 to 25 because it's a little bit bigger. So, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 16, 18. Yeah, I only did 18 rounds to make this little guy, which means that this whole 10. So you figure from here, I should have kept going and doing the 10. So it is what it is. He's still cute. So, and he fits on my desk perfectly, so I'm okay with that. This one will be the correct size. So, and I still have so much yarn left over. So that's one thing I do like about this kit is how much yarn they give you. You're not gonna run out, which is nice. So we're finished with that. So now it wants us to do the face. Here's where it gets tricky, because it doesn't specify in round such and such. Yeah, it doesn't. Attach the plastic eyes to the front. That's all it says. And then using the snap back component, snap the eyes in place. Okay, that's great. So this is where you have to figure out on your own where you want your eyes to go. So for this one, I literally was based on knowing that I was going to do 2 more rounds of red and then go into the green. I did the math on here and was like, okay, so 1, 2, 3 rounds, 1, 2, 3, between the 3rd and 4th round from the green. That's where you're going to place the eyes. So on here, if you flatten it, that helps. Knowing that you're going to do 2 more rows of red. So there's the 2, 3, 4, and 5. So your face is going to go right here on in between round 2 and 3. So I have my eyes. Again, the set only comes with 1 set, and I've already used it. So this is out of my personal stash. So to do this, you'll notice that naturally there's going to start forming lines where your decreases are, and then you're going to have a flat panel. So if you flatten it out along where your decrease lines happen, that'll give you better structure when it comes to placing the face. And usually your stitch marker is going to be about halfway point, just to give you an idea. So that's about where my increase feeds. So that's where, and you'll see your other one. So 1, 2, imagining the other 2 red rows, 3, 4, and 5. So I'm going to go with right here. And on the box, it shows 4 stitches in between. But in my mind, I'm thinking that's going to look funny. 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe not. Because it's technically 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just only 4 are going to be visible once you've placed them. So there's your eye placement. All right, so let's go ahead and lock these on. Like so. Then it says to do the mouth. Insert the black yarn into your plastic needle and stitch the mouth. Fasten off. I love these instructions. They're great. Yarn needle. Okay. So again, I went according to how it was on the box. And that's how I came up with that. So I literally did, what did I do? I went from the side right here, down 1 row, so it's going to be right there. So to there, which would be right there. Thing we're gonna let's pull just a little extra yarn from there to there, because we're gonna double it like so. Like that, and then back into the middle, pull that off. There we go. That and that. And then you kind of want to just turn it a little bit. And when it says to fasten off, it means, you know, make a little knot, like so. And then you just flip it. And your face is on. Yay! Okay, let's continue. So now we're officially done with the black, and there's still so much left. So I will hold on to this and continue using it on other projects. Okay. So that's on round 26. Okay, so round 26, it says 5 single crochet, 2 decreases, and you're going to do that 3 times to bring it down to 21 stitches. So here is what that looks like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now the way to do I'm just going to show you the beginner's decrease. I'm not going to show you the invisible. So we're just going to start with this one. So you're going to go into your loop or your stitch. You're going to pull up a loop. Then you're going to go into your next stitch and you're going to pull up another loop. So you have 3 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over and pull through all 3. And that is how you decrease. But you're going to do that one more time. Pull up a loop. Pull up another loop in the next stitch. 3 in total. Yarn over. Pull through all 3. So now we're going to 5 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then decrease. Loop, loop, pull through. First stitch, pull through. Second stitch, pull through. Yarn over, pull through. Another 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 2 more decreases. Like so. 1 more. And then your stitch marker goes in that last one. Okay, row 27. 5 single crochets, 1 decrease for a total of 18. Let's try that again without splitting. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, decrease, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, decrease, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, decrease. Okay. Start stuffing the pepper and continue as you go. So now we're going to join the green yarn. And so round 28 is in green. Put your hook in. You're going to pull up a loop. You're going to drop your working red. And you're going to bring in your green. And bring it through 2 loops. Your tail of your green is going to stay with your working red. And you're just going to work over both of them. So go into your next stitch and do a single crochet, because round 28 is 4 single crochets, 1 decrease, for a total of 15. So that was 2. So there's 1 and there's 2. There's 3, 4, decrease. So now at this part, I'm going to cut my red, and we're going to set the rest of that aside. Look at all that still left. So cool. And then I'm going to do 1 more single crochet, so the first of the next 4. So this is the beauty of amigurumi. You don't have to, like as if you're crocheting flat, like a blanket, these parts, you don't have to keep covering them. You can actually tuck them inside your work. The reason why I like doing that with this is because whoever ends up with this, they could be playing with it, tugging on it, pulling this and that, and you never have to worry about these ends popping out and sticking out of your work and being seen. They will stay tucked down in there for eternity, or as long as the project lasts. It'll stay. You'll never see those ends, so you don't have to worry about visual. So that was 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, decrease. One, 2, 3, 4, decrease. Done. Now, I know it said to stuff before doing that. I have a hard time holding with there being stuffing and changing colors, so that's why I wait. Now, I'm gonna go stuff happy. So when you start stuffing around your eyes, make sure that the batting's not pushing the back of them down, because then they'll start to curve and it'll look funny. So kind of make sure that they stay straight and the batting goes around them, not pushing them down. Let's get just a little bit more in there and we'll continue in the green. Okay. All right, let's continue. So the next 2 rounds, we're going to do 15 single crochets for 2 rounds.
One more time.
Round 31, 3 single crochet, decrease for 12 stitches. So 1, 2, 3. Make your decrease like so. 1, 2, 3. Decrease. 1, 2, 3. Decrease. All right. Anybody else think he kind of looks like a Christmas tree light? Or the outside light? Okay, so we're going to add more of the stuffing. Okay, let's continue. Round 32, 2 single crochets, then a decrease to bring it down to 9 stitches. One, two, decrease, one, two, decrease, one, two, decrease. So there you go. He's getting there. Round 33, 1 single crochet, 1 decrease to bring it down to 6 stitches. One, and 1. Okay. One. Getting kind of hard to hold. Go. Last row is round 34. 1 single crochet, decrease down to 4 stitches. I would also stop here and using your pinky best that you can, you're going to get a little more batting in there. This is where you're going to fight because it's a tiny space, tiny hole. So like I said, I just took my pinky and just twisted it in there. Okay, let's do our final round. Okay. So 1, there's my decrease. There's 1. My last decrease right there. And then it says to finish off. The way to do that is you're going to remove your stitch marker. You're going to go to that next stitch, which would have been your first one in the next row. You're going to go into it. You're going to pull up a loop. And then you're going to slip stitch right there. And then you want to cut your yarn, leaving somewhat of a tail, and pull that through. You're going to pull it tight. And that's going to fasten that off. Now, with your yarn needle, going to, you're going to thread it through a few times to secure it, like so. And then pick a stitch, go into it, and pull it through, like so. And then what I always do is that little bit right there, I grab my hook and I pick a stitch that's a couple away, I hook it, and I pull it through, like so. Okay, so the body is complete. Now we're going to move on to the arms. Round one of the arms. You're going to chain for 6 stitches. So back to the red, and again, all that green that's left, loving it. And look at, I still have all that batting left. Okay, so you're going to make a slip stitch. Let me show you guys. So you're going to wrap your yarn around your fingers, and then you're going to flip this one that's over here under, like so. So it's under it, and then pull it tight. And then place it onto your hook, slip stitch. So we're going to chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you're going to single crochet back down. Now, here's the whole thing with this pattern. Normally, you chain 1 extra. They didn't give you that extra turning chain, which is wrong, because if you did it correctly, you would only be crocheting 5 down, and it says to do it 6. So you want to chain for 7. So do 1 more chain, and then we're going to go back down your chain for 6. So there's 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then you're going to slip stitch this. You're going to cut the yarn, but you're going to give yourself a tail long enough to sew this onto the body. And there's an arm. So make 1 more. Okay. Now we have our arms, we have our pepper. We need to put the arms onto the pepper. So let's do that. I start with the long tail. I get it on my yarn needle and I'm going to take my arm and I again guesstimated from what the image on the box looks like to figure out my placement. And so we're going to go from the bottom of the mouth to the side. Okay, bottom of the mouth, right there. Bottom of the mouth. And I did it just behind the eye. So right there. You're literally just sewing it on. Just like that. And you can go back and forth a couple times if you don't want that, if you just want that extra security, but I've learned for the most part that's pretty good. And then I tie a knot, like so. And then I use my yarn needle for this part. And I literally just go right into that stitch that I came out of, straight across, pull it through, so that way the knot kind of disappears. And there you go, you have an arm. And let's see. Go, there's one. And we're going to do the same exact thing on the other side. Mouth, behind the eye, like so. Okay, so there you go, you have a pepper. Now, the box only came with one of these, so I need to make more of these little cards, which I will do that, but for now, this is how it's gotta look. The way I attached his hands, the instructions say use a hot glue gun. I didn't want to heat up my hot glue gun, so I literally used just run-of-the-mill, good old-fashioned super glue. So totally up to you if that's the route you want to go. I just put it on the card and then pressed the yarn up against it, and then once it was on, I flipped it and I put a couple more drops on this side, on the back, and at the yarn just to secure it. So that's up to you. You can do super glue, you can do hot glue, it's up to you. But there you go. I hope this helped you guys out. Any questions, just leave them in the comments. So thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!